What's the investment fact of the week? And what's the future trading tip? We're going to give you a 2-for-1.
Okay. The investment tip of the week is every midterm election year for 50 years has delivered a drawdown. 2002 with Bush, it was negative 34. 2010 with Obama, it was negative 17. 2018 with Trump was negative 20. 22 with Biden was 27%. Who knows where we'll land? But the last 50 years, the midterm election has given some downturn. And also, they won't say that we're in a recession. The new term is late stage in the economic cycle. As a result, Adobe is down 33%, Oracle's down 37%, Nike's down 31%, Coinbase is down 28%. But for those who are investors who love this market, the elections are a great time to start to build a base in that midterm year. And 2 years out, you won't be feeling the pain. A lot of times we go back and look through books and say, I wish I could have invested in 2008 or in 2022, but the mid-year elections give you a great time to get into the market, to be able to get an edge in the market where others can't. And the futures trading tip of the week, learn to trade things that are not popular. I'll be talking about this at my presentation at InvestFest. But did you know you can trade the Houston weather patterns here? So I know everyone trades.
Trade or bet, like Poly Market.
No, it's trade. It's a futures contract.
It's a futures contract?
Interesting.
I
was going to say the idea of Poly Market, Kalshi, what we saw this week, we'll talk about that later, but pretty interesting. When you talk about the FanDuels of the world and the DraftKings of the world, the amount of money that went into the predictive markets over this weekend?
A ton. And now you're even seeing, Rashad, to your point, right? Because that's kind of jarring to hear, but rainfall in North Dakota, right? But even interactive brokers are now putting some of those prop bets in there, and they kind of replaced the binary options market. But for my futures traders, find things to trade that most people are not trading that are liquid. So like milk class futures you can trade. The Brazilian real, lean hog futures are something you can trade. But like the interesting part, and even I agree with your assessment real quick because I can tell by body language, there's a pattern and charting to this. And I think even if we go into the conversation on Blackout about how weather is being manipulated, I think they're manipulating weather for the benefit of themselves financially long term. But trade things that most people are not trading that you can get an edge in to get an easy win.
Yeah, I got a quick investment fact. I think this is really important, especially when we're looking at times like this. And you brought up some good companies. Don't confuse high valuation with overvaluation, and I think that's important because people hear high valuation. I shouldn't invest in that because the valuation is high. You see that with companies like Nvidia. You see companies like Broadcom, even Peloton. Valuation is very high. That's drastically different from a company that's over-evaluated, right? That overvaluation. Here's your examples. Pandemic. We can't communicate. We can't go into office. Zoom becomes a company that everybody's investing in. That company runs out of this world, right? Parabolic move. The idea of that being sustainable over the course of 5, 10, 15 years becomes in the thought of people's minds. It gets overvalued. And now you see where Zoom is at post-pandemic when the world gets back to normal. Peloton is another example of that company. So when you're investing, right, it's not about the company that is what you're paying for it now. Is it too cheap? Is it too expensive? It's about the future outlook of that company. So don't confuse the two. Overvaluation versus high valuation.
Yes, sir. Okay, let's get into it.